on these niggas' couch, yeah. You can place your bets, yeah. My vibe bitch step on these niggas' necks, yeah. Stupid. I think niggas hoes. We got the same shoes and I don't fuck with those. Stupid. I don't fuck with hoes. Because when they meet me, try to act like they ain't hoes. What the fuck? It's okay, bitches love me, they won't fuck me. They ask Nate and Alex, can they meet me? Guess they feeling lucky, okay. Brody like I'm skinny, fat and chubby.
What's good with y'all? Friday night, Yerrr.
Friday night, Yerrr.
Superstar of the Year tournament final. I totally forgot about that.
What does that mean?
How do you have a tournament determine the Superstar of the Year?
Right.
Well, we'll get to that. Made Spider came here, aka put your mama in the figure 4 leg lock. We here talking that good wrestling. For saying that. And the other co-hosts are here.
Hollywood Sensei, you already know what it sound like. Blurred Cartel, Blurred Approved Entertainment. We in the building.
And Jeremy Pierce is here.
Yes. Missed the show last week. Charismatic Creations High Risk Wrestling Podcast every Saturday. We'll be putting our first episode up on YouTube tomorrow and SoundCloud. And tomorrow is Primed in one of my mini series in the show. Primed and Ready. WWE Championship. People that I think are ready to win the World Championship. Well, one or both of them. And spoiler alert, number one on the list is Baron Corbin.
Bum ass Baron Corbin.
Down bad.
Let's go, Corbin. Let's go, Corbin.
So we're here to talk about the art of the rematch or backlash review. We'll talk about card subject to change matches you were supposed to get but never got. I did want to reveal this pick. Find it. Do you remember these matches happening?
Taker.
You got the Taker versus Dean Ambrose in the UK. You have Goldberg versus Batista on Monday Night Raw. Everybody's remember the Fatal 4-Way. Sasha. Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal at Money in the Bank. Remember that?
I do not remember that.
Do you remember Sheamus versus? You remember a champions versus champions match? Sheamus versus CM Punk on Main Event.
That's when everybody. That's when Cena wrestled on Main Event.
Do you remember Mr. McMahon versus John Cena on Monday Night Raw?
I remember.
All-Star, do you remember All-Star Kickoff? Chris Jericho, the World Champ, Triple H, the WWE Champion, Matt Hardy, the ECW Champion. Triple threat match. And also the Usos versus Orton and Batista. These are just random matches you may have never thought happened, but did happen randomly.
Definitely.
Dean Ambrose really fought The Undertaker? I don't remember that.
In the UK.
That's definitely a UK special. I don't remember that either.
Yeah, I remember. It was a house show. It wasn't like a Raw or nothing. It was pretty much a house show.
All right, so let's get into Backlash. If people saw it, I mean,
I watched it.
It was only six matches, nothing special, but it was still a good pay-per-view. I guess we could start with what opened the match. It was Seth versus Cody Rhodes, the face of WWE right now.
Yes.
How y'all feel about that match?
From what I heard of it, it was okay. I didn't see it, but it was okay. I seen highlights of it. The highlights were good.
I watched the match. It was good. I feel like it was better than their Mania match. I mean, I knew obviously Seth was going to lose, but I mean, it was still a good match. I mean, I like him and Cody in the ring. I mean, a little rivalry is lit right now. I like it.
It was a very good match, but I'm gonna need Cody to switch it up because Cody and Seth matches are starting. Not their matches, like their high profile matches, are starting to kind of like be the same as all their other matches. Like I know at this point, I'm expecting Cody high profile match to hit 3 fucking crossroads. I'm expecting Seth Rollins to win with an avalanche. I'm sorry, not win, hit an avalanche Falcon Arrow, which somehow, for some reason, doesn't win matches.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Jeremy, because they did switch it up in this match. You know, you got the Falcon Arrow into another suplex, but Cody counted it. Seth counted the crossroads a couple times. They switched up for Mania. And I like the narrative they tried to put it. Seth wasn't ready this match, and now he was ready for the match. So they tried to play that out in the beginning of the match. So I mean, it was good. It was good. If we get another match,
we're getting another match.
They're talking a triple threat match for United States Championships. Cody, Theory, and Seth. Maybe. Don't know.
It's Theory is going to win.
Theory would win. I mean, but I get a match of B+. Good match.
It was a very good. I think Seth's been on a mission since that horrible Hell in a Cell match. I don't think he's had a bad match since then.
Yeah,
are you talking about the one with the Fiend?
Yes, the Fiend match.
Yeah,
that had to be stopped by DQ.
That joint was tragic.
What was the next match? Omos versus Bobby Lashley. This Mandingo match right here. So I mean, come on. It was better than their Mania match.
Mandingo match.
It was better than their Mania match, but that's not saying that wasn't a hard bar to top.
Right.
I guess Charlotte and Ronda's match was okay.
If we get to it, yeah, sure.
Yeah, the Mandingo match was cool. I mean, it was better than I expected. I mean, but you know, like Jeremy said, they didn't have too high of a bar to leap over, so it'll be.
Yeah, it wasn't a 5-star classic.
So
but it was good enough to watch. It was good enough to watch.
C-, I guess.
Yeah.
Give it a D.
Damn. So what you get the Mania match?
That's F, yeah. That was garbage.
What was the next match? Was the next match AJ versus Edge?
Yeah,
that one was better than the Mania match.
I like the ring psychology. They have ring psychology in this match. They target a limb, and you can't use that limb anymore. So, kudos to AJ Styles for understanding the art of wrestling.
Listen, man, ring psychology. When Hangman was defending the title versus Lance Archer, it was in Atlantic City. I'm like, why is Dan Lambert taking off the top rope? Oh, if there's no top rope, Hangman can't use the buckshot lariat. I need stuff like that. So targeting a limb, just tell the story. And Edge and AJ told the story. You knew AJ was going to lose. Hopefully this is coming. I'm not. We'll see. We can have the Bullet Club in like every promotion now.
Hollywood, how you feel about the match?
Man, it was a good match. I mean, AJ and Edge. At first, when we did the earlier shows, I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Especially at WrestleMania, but they pulled it off. And they pulled it off again. And then, we all talked about the potential Rhea Ripley joining the squad. It happened. I mean, so I was excited.
Yeah, I recognize that ass from anywhere, so they
yeah,
can hide that.
Yeah, I'm like, this is how much we watch too much wrestling. As soon as she hit AJ, I could tell. I could tell just from her body and the tights. I'm like, that's Rhea Ripley. Like, she didn't even wear different wrestling tights. It was her tights.
Right.
She could have wore some. She could have wore some apple bottom jeans. And,
I was watching that match with my ex-wife, and she was like, "Yo, I know that's Rhea Ripley just by her ass."
And people forget, like Rhea Ripley's 5'8", 5'9".
We know.
What was her reason of joining Edge group.
She's been held down.
They've been using the whole we hate the fans don't appreciate us, and Sam Miller's like that's a lie because you were clearly getting cheered, all of you, Damian, Edge, Rhea, you were all getting cheered, and if they add rumors, Ciampa, why are you joining? The fans, motherfucker, he was the most over dude in all of NXT.
We're getting held down. All right, I get a match of B+ also. So solid match. I can't go.
I give it a B-. It was good.
So the next was the I Quit match: Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey.
So much better than a WrestleMania match.
Yes.
So much
It
better.
was, and when you put a stipulation on a match, Charlotte is going to lose. We've seen
True.
Sasha and Charlotte I Quit match.
And the thing is, like, Ronda is a legit fighter. There's no way a legit fighter should lose a match of that stipulation at all.
So I like the feud was going sour real quick, and it was time for Charlotte to get off the screen because her title defense was not good at all. I mean, I don't want to say no fault to her own because it was I don't know. She her best title defense was Naomi, and then
that match was
Tony Storm got Storm got hit with a pie, and then she had that match with Becky Lynch. It meant nothing. It meant something or nothing, one of the two, and then Ronda Rousey match at WrestleMania was
they were like best friends.
Really bad.
They were like best friends. Now they can't stand each other.
Just thinking about what Charlotte's about a 12 because they don't include the NXT title anymore in her fucking reigns. So she's a 12-time world champion. Just thinking about her reigns, does she really have like those standout feuds or matches? I mean, her and Sasha had that they switched for like a whole summer. They had the Hell in a Cell, but it's just like if I think of Becky's feuds, I think of Sasha's reigns, and I think of Bayley's reigns. They've got those. On the main roster, defining feuds. What it like? Charlotte.
I mean, it was Asuka, but we saw it happen at WrestleMania. So
yeah, and SmackDown.
I mean, Charlotte was going to have a feud if Lacey Evans didn't get knocked up.
You're right. You're right. Side note. Lacey Evans is now on the Raw roster and a heel. So
right.
Yeah, because her dad beat on her, but whatever. Charlotte says I quit because the arm bar, steel chair, cool, and she has a torn radius. If you don't know what a radius is, I can't explain it to you because I don't know what a radius is. So
she's completely healthy, by the way.
She's taking time off.
Is up there. Where the
I know. We have to keep kayfabe alive, guys.
Keep kayfabe alive.
Keep the kayfabe alive, definitely.
And the
radius.
Worst part is when she eventually comes back, she's just going to get another title shot.
And on top of that, she went to go get married. So
Charlotte versus Bianca when she come back.
I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't. I mean, she's not going to go to Raw. She's probably going to go to SmackDown.
Well, there's going to be a draft. There's going to be a draft this year. I don't like having a draft every year. Every 2 years is so much better, but there's going to be another draft this year, so fuck it, right?
The match is probably a C.
I'm giving it a B.
I'm giving it a
D.
I'll give it a B.
Don't like wrestling.
It was
I just don't like.
It was better
match.
than some of the Ronda Rousey matches I've seen.
First off, Ronda Rousey, to me, is not a good wrestler. Her mic skills are trash.
Oh my god!
There we go.
I mean,
well, you don't need mic skills in the UFC, so I mean,
she's clearly a very good wrestler.
So she just needs to know how to shut up.
Well, hold on. She has mic skills. It's just unscripted ones. If you saw Ultimate Fighter with her and Misha Tate, she hates Misha Tate. So.
Yeah. When it's not scripted, guess what? She's really good.
Ronda Rousey goes off. If you mention Misha Tate's name,
I'm Team Maisha. Maisha's my girl.
I seen those because at the end of the day,
and she's fired. She's fired. In Ultimate Fighter.
Who won the title off of her at first?
Holly Holm.
Okay, so she didn't want to fight her, Then the other chick got the title back, and then she decided to invoke her rematch clause, and then still get her ass whooped.
And then
That was funny. She got smoked, and she hadn't been the same. And then she talking about committing suicide after that. I'm like,
oh my goodness. We're not here for that. Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss for the cool down.
That match deserves a blatant F. I mean, wasn't a fan of it.
I'm fine with the match because as long as they keep pushing Moss, you gotta make stars. And I think Corbin's one of those guys that can take, could take a loss, lose a few, and be fine. Like he started to enter Miz and Jericho territory where he can lose feuds and still be fine and won't be hurt by it.
Bum ass Corbin. I like how the hype up video they use recycled fan footage. Amazing. you don't need to do that, WWE. I mean, I don't remember the match, so
nothing special.
Yeah, I know Madcap Moss won.
Yeah,
but I don't remember the match. But main event 6-man tag.
For me,
the Bloodline.
It was a great match, but I really needed the Bloodline to lose. And it's only because when think about Roman's best feuds during this reign for me were Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Bryan Danielson and Seth when they can show the chink in his armor and show his vulnerability and his insecurity. Like at some point, you got to start making it believable that he can lose, and it would have been great for Drew to get a clear win as the next challenger. I'm fine with the Bloodline, but at some point, right, he's got to lose. He's got to lose matches.
I mean, I dare challenge you to say that he can lose since the beginning of this. Because he never beat Jey Uso clean.
Never beat him. And think about
this.
So
it went all the way from the beginning of that. And if you choose to use that, you use Paul Heyman to get over on Kevin Owens.
And Kevin Owens had how many W's? Should have got 3 W's against him.
Yeah, and then Daniel Bryan. I think the Usos helped in that. Not sure, but
I think the only clear dominant win because even the triple threat match he didn't get a dominant win because the Usos interfered in that.
We're trying to say
the only clear win Roman has is at Survivor Series.
Are we saying
Are
we saying the Chiefs' reign is fraudulent? What's going on?
It's not fraudulent, but it's always chinks in his armor to where, except for Rey Mysterio, he just beat the shit out of Rey Mysterio. So I mean, that and Big E he beat clean. But a lot of his feuds, he needed Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso,
right? And I'm just thinking they could have gone so much further with him and Seth, and then Brock is back. Let's just drop it.
Yeah, I thought that was probably his best feud so far. But this is a fire 6-man tag.
Yeah, it was great.
Great pacing, great storytelling. Randy is over as fuck right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's champion by the end of this year. I know Cody's taking one of those belts.
Really?
Hands down. Cody's taking one of those belts hands down. And if you need somebody to take a title, if Roman's really going to take the time off like he is, if he's going to be the new Brock, I wouldn't mind Orton having another title run of 15. Well, it's going to be 15 title runs for him. So, and pure babyface and just... He could go back to being a piece of shit Orton, and Riddle be the first one to get a title shot. I mean, if we want to
he's not. It's house shoes. It's more or less for house shoes. It's not for.
But he's not at Hell in a Cell.
He's not been advertised for Hell in a Cell or what else? Something else he's not been advertised for.
He's not being advertised for that fucking UK show. I mean, you take that how you want.
He's on the poster.
He's on the poster.
So is he going Hollywood on this?
No.
Yeah, he can.
He can, but the only way he's really going to get it is through The Rock. Like I'm not going out of my way to cast Roman like I was going out of my way to cast John Cena, or like we all agree it's inevitable that Sasha's leaving.
Yeah.
Why you say that?
She's been on the Mandalorian. She doesn't have to do this at all.
She's
Charlotte has to do this. Bayley has to do this. Becky has to do this to a certain degree. Becky can leave if she wants to and pursue acting, I think. But Sasha's the closest thing to be like, I don't need to do this.
Cam said a couple shows ago, there are only a few superstars while being in the company, they've eclipsed the company. Hogan, Cena, Rock, Stone Cold, Sasha's next. Like she already be at a higher status.
She's getting Disney checks. She doesn't need to do this.
And
at all.
Yeah. Like the moment they say, yo, you want the Star Wars spinoff, she's out of here.
Yo, the next woman behind her that doesn't need to do this is not in the same company as her. It's Jade Cargill. She doesn't need to do this.
Yeah, she stated multiple times.
She's already getting sponsored by Fenty and Savage to do like lingerie and bodysuits and like all that other stuff. She doesn't need to do this. But
they do it because they love wrestling.
I get that, and you see Sasha Banks' Evil episode, and she just, it was all about wrestling for her, so it's her first love, but still, it doesn't.
She made Izzy cry.
Well, at the end of the day, you gotta think of it. She had a celebrity family. Brandy,
what?
Ray J.
Yeah, but it wasn't incorporated until not even a main event WrestleMania. Like she got to WrestleMania.
Yeah. Obviously, Snoop Dogg. I think it's her first cousin or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and then he's related to Ray J and Brandy. I think they're
according to Jack Harlow, Ray J got a sister.
Brandy, I mean, obviously.
I mean,
white boy
Jack
entity.
Harlow ain't no WBE.
Well, I listen. Let's not slack Jack Harlow too much because Ray J was his Brandy's brother at one point in time. So if you went back to the Moesha days, you would know.
Ain't that
hey, wait a minute! Ain't that Brandy's brother?
So it could be a play on words. I think people just taking it seriously because he's won. I give the 6-man tag an A+. Just a good way to end the show.
A+.
Good way to end the show. I mean, the pacing was good. The wrestling was good. Everybody did what they needed to do. Good shit.
All right, so I can't really grade that match because I didn't see the full match of it. So
good for you.
Not good for me because I wanted to see. I wanted to see what was going
He can always watch it.
I can.
And Hollywood, what are you giving the match?
I give the match an A, man. It was solid. It was entertaining the whole time. Good wrestling. I mean, the ending was fire. I mean, I liked it. Give it a solid A.
So my next question is the Usos going to unify the titles? That is the question.
Nope.
No.
They're not unifying no championships. Even what Roman has.
To answer your question.
Even what Roman has is not unified.
Right. He holds both titles. That's all it is.
So we need to get the Street Profits the titles, man. I'm gonna stop playing.
Yeah, they Let's, I'm ready for the Blacks to hold the title again. I was so mad at their first title reign, but it's time for the Blacks.
The Blacks.
So as a show, I give the show probably a B+ or A-.
That's high.
Good Backlash.
B. A B.
It's a B budget pay-per-view. It's not going to be that good.
That's not true. That's not true, Goose, because we've had multiple quote unquote non-big 5 pay-per-views that have been fire. Remember that it was a random roadblock when Dean Ambrose was champion? That whole show was like banging.
I seen good roadblocks. I seen good over the limits.
Yeah,
I seen good not great balls of fire. But
That event was
I seen good Night of Champions.
I mean, no, what I'm saying is it did what it's supposed to do. It was supposed to set up the next event.
Oh, okay, I get that.
So
I did want to do before we go to the next topic. I did want to do a throwback pay per view of the week. So, if you remember, go check out SummerSlam '97.
I remember
Bret Hart versus The Undertaker in the main event.
That's the year Austin broke his neck.
Yes.
What else they had on there?
The Continental Championship.
Yeah, Austin broke his neck around that time.
Of course, the championship match. And look, SummerSlam, Heart and Soul. Ooh, remember they named the pay per views?
It was a subtitle. It was more of you know how it wasn't like how to end your house. Well, how to end your houses was in the beginning. In your house, beware a dog or something like that. That's when they started that's before they started giving them names, and it was just then they started giving them actual names, and then them putting in your house at the bottom of it. But that SummerSlam brought back memories. That's like by far one of the best SummerSlams I've seen.
So, but check it out. Throwback pay-per-view SummerSlam '97. But next time, the art of the rematch. As you can see, John Cena and Randy Orton has had rematch after rematch after rematch after rematch after rematch after rematch. And if your math,
rematch,
you know,
if your math is right, they had 20 matches worth of either a championship being on the line or a pay-per-view or a main event of some sort.
And I watched all of them.
How do you do a rematch right? Should it be 20 rematches? Should it be 3?
No.
Should it be? Now hold on. Now we shit on Roman and Brock for happening 6 times. 6 times, not even double digits, and this happened 20 times.
All right, so here's the thing.
So how do you do the rematch? The rubber match is basically when the other person wins, and then you do the rubber match, and then we figure out a true winner. It can end the feud. How do we keep rematches fresh, or do you keep rematches fresh?
All right, so here's the
not a thing.
So the rivalry starts. That person's generally guaranteed a rematch. The person
50-50 booking.
The person who loses the first match usually wins the second match. And then the third match is a stipulation to end the rivalry. So a rivalry like that could go on for at least, I would say, 6 months at the most for certain rivalries.
If Goose was accurate in this, Seth Rollins would have won.
If Goose was accurate in this, The Rock would have beaten Stone Cold in their second WrestleMania match, but he didn't.
The Rock lost. What I'm saying is that's how it should be. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that's how it should be. Because then you gotta think about it. Bray Wyatt beat John Cena the second match, and he lost the third match, which so happened he got buried.
Oh my God.
For instance, I'll take you to Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels had a good rivalry, which started at Ground Zero in your house. Well, no, it started at SummerSlam.
Who's the wrestling story?
It spilled over to Ground Zero in your house. Then that's how we got the first Hell in a Cell, which Shawn Michaels won. And then, a couple of months went by in between, and to make you forget about their rivalry. And then at the Royal Rumble, we had the casket match where he injured his back. So yeah, you could do a rivalry like that. I mean,
but then they had WrestleMania 27, and then after that, the other WrestleMania with a career was on the line. So I mean, they just continued the rivalry. So it was a little bit more in depth than that.
But what I'm saying is, here you go. You talking about how you keep the rematches fresh. And the time they had the rematch, that was over 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
I get
when
it.
they
So
had,
space it out.
right? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Jeremy, how do you treat rematches and keep them fresh?
There's so many ways you could do it. You could do it like The Rock and Stone Cold. You could do it like, I think, who pulled it off. Probably the best series of matches I've probably seen recently is, even though their last match wasn't great, but that was only because it was the pandemic. Gargano and Ciampa. Their feud was so good that the world title never main evented while they were feuding, and they fought each
Do
other.
a quick shout out to Asia, real quick. We see you. Appreciate you.
They fought each other a lot, but the story was there. It's so funny. Cena and Orton. See, the difference between Cena and Orton and Roman and Brock is Cena and Orton were in the company for the most part at the same time. Brock and Roman, there are like year-long gaps where where Brock's just not there. So for me,
all right. Well, hold on. We'll take Brock and Kurt Angle then, if you want to take something the same time-ish a little bit.
See, I like that because it's the same thing that happens with Roman and Brock when they flip affiliations. If I remember correctly, Kurt was the heel. Brock was the face, the up and comer, but Brock had already been a heel before. So Kurt and Brock were just so good at wrestling, and Kurt was so good at telling a story. You could do the rematches. Like, you show Cena and Orton. They want us to believe him. They want to give us the narrative that Cena and Orton are like the greatest rivalries. In my opinion, Cena's best rivals are Edge and CM Punk, and they've had rematches. And CM Punk.
So we're going to shit on Batista.
Batista's great, but let's be real. Batista feud with
really.
Listen. Batista's feuds with Cena, honestly, don't compare to what he went through with Edge and what he threw with CM Punk. And the CM Punk and Cena feud was a clash of style, culture, and that's why those rematches worked. So the rematches can work whether they're spaced out over years, whether they're compact like Sasha and Charlotte, if you can tell the story right.
But you can also say
real quick, and then I'll let Hollywood go. Jeremy, I like to say for Batista and Orton, they dropped the ball because they were the two top guys. And you take it back to that Rumble where Vince tore his quads, and it was just like, I'm the World Heavyweight Champion, you WWE Champion. It has to collide at some point. And the match was subpar because last man standing match. I already said duct tape. He beat Batista with duct tape, and then the I Quit match where he was gonna throw Batista off the stage or off the car. I quit. He threw him anyway. Like, Cena really made Batista look like a chump. Like, that aspect, and that was really bad. So I could take that. The Edge one, the payoff for Edge was bad. He's like, I'm gonna beat you in my hometown in a match I never lost, and then he threw Edge off the fucking ladder into two tables. Cena won. So I would give the Punk one because Punk beat him, Money in the Bank 2012. Probably one of the, if not, is top 5 most important matches in WWE history. And then he beat him at Night of Champions, which I think it was a double pin. It was a tie, but they gave it to Punk. So, I mean, I think the hustle, loyalty, disrespect angle was probably Punk's best angles.
I'll give another, maybe two more recent examples. Roman at the start of the Head of the Table between him and Jay. They had multiple matches, and Cena and AJ. They fought each other three times in like 2 years.
Beat up John Cena.
beat up, but those matches were great because it was like the WWE guy in Cena versus the one of the few people that Vince could never get that was great on the indies comparing style. So it like for me, rematches work when you can do two things well. The heel face affiliation makes sense, and then you can flip it. Because we've
Just put
seen
Cena, just put Cena on Mount Rushmore. Come on.
like we've seen face Roman, heel Brock, but why did side note, Ronda Rousey defending the women's championship against Raquel Rodriguez, but there you go. Roman and Brock work because now we had what was the last time we remember face Brock? So that affiliation really
Brock Taker was a good rivalry.
Eddie and Ray. Was that 20 years? And then when Eddie
Yeah.
when we get ringtone Eddie Guerrero theme with the tape, I'll never forget it.
Where the fuck is Vicky?
Ray is in the ring. Eddie's music comes on. Eddie stands on the ramp, tapes up his fist, and proceeds to absolutely murder Rey Mysterio. Murder him on SmackDown. Never forget.
I'll give it to Hollywood. Hollywood. How do you think you protect the rematch, make a rematch good? When does a rematch get stale?
How you protect it? I feel like don't shove don't shove it down people's throats. Like, you know what I mean? Have it spaced out, you know? I mean, I feel like that's how you would save it. Like, we seen good rivalries with, great rematches, and we seen some with bad rematches and shit like that. I just feel like, don't force feed it. I mean, have it spaced out. I mean, it'll be good. Make sure you got a heel in the face. You know what I mean? It's good. That's my opinion.
I'll give some multiple rematches, and you tell me if it's good or bad. So we got Charlotte versus Charlotte versus Sasha. They had a number of matches. So we got good or bad.
Can I do a push? Can I do push in the middle?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna push because at the time I didn't like it, but years later it made sense for Sasha.
For everybody else, the answer also.
I didn't. I didn't like the Hell in a Cell the last. That was the last match. I didn't like it. I think for you to pretty much, keep the rematches fresh, let them stay away from one another for a while, and then when it, when they put them in a match, it'll revive that feud, just like with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Whether you know it or not, their second match, which was the Iron Man match, was years after they had the first match. And then when they had the Survivor Series was like a year later. So, I mean, you could stretch it out like that. I mean, it keeps it renewed. The rivalry renewed is renewing it. It's not.
I will go Usos versus New Day.
Good.
Oh yeah, good.
And you know how many times they wrestled?
A lot.
8,
15 times.
And how many did the Usos win?
I don't know the count, but I know they did 15 times.
I think it might be like 50-50.
Well, you can't be 50-50 in 15 times. I'm just saying.
You know what I mean. There's a one up
Close
somewhere.
to, if not. And the best match was Hell in a Cell.
I'm gonna go with the pre-show match they had at SummerSlam. Actually,
debatable.
But I think the Hell in a Cell match was good because remember wasn't it Big E and Xavier? No Kofi.
Yeah, I think Kofi was injured around that time.
Yeah. Also, last rematch I would give would probably be Well, I gave a tag team. I gave that Orton and Bray Wyatt.
Bad.
But what made it bad? I mean,
here's what made it bad. Bray finally became champion at the Chamber. He then defeated AJ and John Cena on SmackDown that week. He then feuded. They were telling up until that point. They were telling the story with Bray, Luke Harper, and Randy. Instead of having the triple threat match, which would have made more sense, Bray loses the match at WrestleMania, which wasn't a good match. But he wins the feud by winning the House of Horrors match, which wasn't for the championship. That's what made it bad. You can't.
And then Randy burned his house down, and then stuff happened.
Yes, that's why it was bad. Bray finally climbed the mountaintop, and it was over.
Okay. Next topic. With what? Anyway, the next what the fuck? And next topic, with Roman signing his new deal, he's taking less dates. Is Cody Rhodes the face of WWE?
The American Nightmare, let's go.
Oh my
I'm going to say no.
Raquel just kicked the shit out of Ronda. Jeez.
It's going back to Drew.
I would say the face of the company would be the tribal chief.
That's not what he.
That is an incorrect answer because he's not anymore.
Why you say that?
He's taking less dates. He's going to be the new Brock. So it has to be a new face of WWE. So I asked if Cody Rhodes. If you don't think Cody Rhodes, you can say another person, but it's not Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is not anymore.
Well,
to me,
hold on. Remember when John Cena was the face of the company and he was doing that and doing lesson dates? It was the same concept. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think you can do both. You can have both at the same time, is what I'm trying to say.
He's going in the Brock territory right now. So just like, I think it's fine. He can take less dates, but it has to be a new face. And it's relatively soon, but it's going to be another guy.
From what I've read, it seems like he's just not doing house shows, and that's okay. I think, it's not like he's going to be like, I'm not going to do this SmackDown. I don't think it's going to be like that. Although I have noticed that he's not been on TV as much, which I think is kind of shitty.
Randy Orton don't do house shows either.
Randy Orton's been there 20 fucking years. So.
Oh, word. Okay, yeah.
Yes,
I'm just saying, who's the new face of the company? Because it's not going to be Roman at some point in time.
Austin Theory.
What?
Who will be the new face? Theory. Austin Theory.
I don't know that guy. I know Theory, but
I'm sorry, Theory.
Oh, there you go. I know that guy.
Theory. Oh, we have a Kathy Blackheart sighting. Oh my god. Still fine as hell. I'm
going Cody Rhodes.
I'll go with Bianca actually. And it's Aaliyah. Oh my god.
I got four possibles. I got four possibles. I like Cody, Theory, Bianca, and Drew. I mean, give it back to Drew. Put McIntyre back on top.
Drew did hella down during the pandemic. So I mean,
he did. So did Asuka, Bayley, and Sasha. They were there.
Pandemic Drew.
Pandemic Drew was a thing. Daniel Bryan pandemic was a thing.
Did you say what?
AJ during the pandemic was a thing.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Don't get their fire Intercontinental Championship match they had.
Pandemic championship matches.
I think Jeremy has a point there with the. If you notice, even with AEW, a lot of these shows are starting with ending. I'm sorry, with the show with the ladies. It seems like they may be doing a swing here.
AEW still is having problems promote their women.
They can't even get two matches on one Dynamite.
Yeah, they are, but I've noticed that like both promotions have been trying to like end shows with like the ladies. And if you notice recently, Raw has been doing that, especially on SmackDown, with the Ronda Rousey v Charlotte.
So AEW is competing with Big Bang Theory reruns, which doesn't make sense, but okay. It's just like I gotta put Punk on first because we got these fucking Big Bang Theory reruns. Like, what?
And they're on literally part of the same company.
Reruns. Who gives a fuck? Like, what are you doing?
The reruns, those
that,
reruns bring in ratings, dog.
We gotta compete with fucking reruns, not the NBA and the NBA playoffs
and
hockey. I'm like, yo, go to TBS because we got to do this fucking basketball, bro. I'm like, all right. Yo, you forgot we had hockey too? Oh, fuck me, right? Yes.
That's just competition.
I like the Drew choice because of the Storm the Castle, Chaos at the Castle, whatever the fuck it's called, pay-per-view.
Clash at the Castle.
Clash at the Castle. That's whatever fucking Conquer the Castle. The nigga is the castle. Where the fuck it's called.
But I'm sticking with Bianca.
Okay. I mean, I never seen a woman run WWE. So.
I'm actually inclined to agree.
First for everything.
I agree with that. I don't think it's going to be Bianca. I mean, who knows? But I think it's going to be a lady wrestler.
I like that choice. I like it being Cody Rhodes because A, he got his last name. B, he kept the same gimmick from AEW. C, he has Triple H's pyro, and he's going to be champion. So the fuck.
Hold on. I'm trying to think of everybody to come in the guy. I think it's Cody, Charlotte, Roman, and Sasha are the only ones that have pyro. On Corbin.
Bum ass Corbin.
You got Finn Balor. I think he has pyro, doesn't he?
No,
he does. He has to.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait till the Raw Tag Team. I can't wait till the Raw Tag Team champions, which are never going to be, but it'll be funny. In the meantime, you can do.
I miss that nigga so much.
Who? Finn Balor?
No. Ew. I'm Brock Lesnar.
Remember Pride Balor at WrestleMania 33?
Hilarious.
Balor Club is for everyone.
It's for everyone. All right, cool. That was a thing.
The gay Balor. Oh, is it going to book him gay? Fuck it.
Pandering. Don't forget the last thing I did want to talk about, card subject to change. The matches we were supposed to get versus the matches we got. So remember, we was going to get Roman, Brock, Braun, but we just got Braun and Brock. And then don't forget, we got Bryan versus Styles, and then it turned to Styles Samoa Joe. And it was going to be Roman versus Randy, but then it became Drew versus Roman. And then obviously this unification title match versus the 6-man title match we got. Just a bunch of them. Don't forget it was the Jack-O-Lantern Finn Balor versus Sister Abigail, but then we got this because Bray Wyatt got COVID, and that's why the best thing
everybody
ever happened.
got that was the same show that had Kurt Angle team with the Shield because people had got mono.
Monomania.
Wait, I never heard about that.
We were supposed to get Sister Abigail.
Hold on. Remember when? Okay, there was a time when Triple H was on the Shield. There was a time when Kurt Angle was on the Shield.
Yeah.
And niggas just randomly getting mono. Niggas just randomly just getting COVID. This is before COVID. This is like
mono.
randomness.
Like mono is not something you just get like from nigga like coughing or something.
It was supposed to get the Fiend versus Sister Abigail. We didn't get that. I mean, we supposed to get the Fiend. I was supposed to get Sister Abigail versus the Demon, and we supposed to get the Shield versus I think it was Kane, the Miz, and the Bar.
There's a fuck shit, and then some nigga randomly got mono and spread it to everybody. And just like fuck all of you.
What show was that, Cam? Let me look up that card. What show was that?
That was it was a fuck pay-per-view. So
it was. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Kurt Angle in the Shield.
I thought I think it was TLC actually.
Yeah, it was CSA. It was definitely a Survivor Series.
Kurt
It was a
Angle.
fuck pay-per-view. It's like niggas just got mono, just like, yo, let's just change it up. Get AJ versus Finn Balor now, and that's probably the best match of the card. So I mean, but card subject to change.
It was TLC. It was TLC. And it was
Don't forget,
305.
we were supposed to get Jinder versus Brock, and then it changed to AJ versus Brock. It was like, no, we can't have this.
Brock didn't want to face Jinder.
You remember when Brock didn't want? You remember when Brock didn't want to face Dean Ambrose and just like did it anyway, and so the shit match.
TLC 2017. Kurt, Seth. Main event was Kurt, Seth, and Dean Ambrose taking on Braun, The Miz, Kane, Cesaro, Sheamus in a 5-on-3 handicap TLC match.
Why? Why?
Yummy. That sounds like an excellent match.
That's wild.
Hold on. This before this was the card. Sasha and Alicia on the pre-show. Asuka beat Emma. Rich Swann and Cedric defeated Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick. Alexa defeated Mickey for the retaining Raw Women's title. Enzo defeated Kalisto to win the Cruiserweight title. Finn Balor beat AJ. Jason Jordan beat Elias, and then the 3-on-5 TLC match.
My consensual penis.
Not consensual penis.
Fucking Enzo. Yo, you said like half the niggas is not on the roster. It's insane.
Hold on, let me say. Hold on.
This nigga said Jason Jordan.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Alicia Fox.
My black son.
Emma.
My black son.
Rich Swann. Jack Gallagher. Brian Kendrick. Mickey James. Enzo. Kalisto. Kurt Angle. Braun.
And none of them are
Cesaro.
And none of them are there.
That's 12 people on that card not in the company anymore. And that was only 5 years ago.
Nothing wrong with that.
These niggas fuck out of here.
I mean, the good thing is like, some of these, people, they have like, better careers afterwards.
Ron, that main event won 35 minutes.
Savage.
Oh my God.
Yikes.
But a lot of these characters are casted. They go out and they'll do something different and something better. That's why I'm grateful for things like AEW and Impact or NJPW, all those things, because if they really want to be a wrestler, or a sports entertainer, they'll keep going. Like look at that Matt Cordona guy. Whatever you want to think about him, he's doing him.
He's had a better career since leaving the WWE.
Yeah. So and then they come back if they decide, or if they are offered to come back to WWE. They'll get a better role. I mean, that's always what it's been. Like, it's always been that kind of like, we can't use you right now, but you build your stock up, because that's what the whole thing is. MJF is like, if he goes to the DE, he's gonna make a fucking ton of money.
Dean Ambrose.
Don't want to interrupt, but I gotta skate real quick. So
all right, man, just promote your shit, man, before you come out. What it sound like?
What it sound like, man? Every Thursday at 7, man. Just check me out on that. Also on TikTok, Hollywood_Sensei.
Whoa! Baron Corbin just murdered Moss. Murdered him.
Let's go, Corbin. But yeah, Friday night, I see
bum ass Corbin.
Madcap Moss is dead. Corbin put Moss's head in a chair and then took the trophy and slammed it on his head in the chair. Moss has no throat. He's done.
Nice. Anybody watching, support what it's saying like next week.
Absolutely.
The 2000s draft. I'm gonna smoke him in that. Kendrick Lamar, blessed everybody with an out of body experience with his shit that came out at midnight. Niggas is just using their ears. You didn't use your ears in the last lifetime you've had in existence. Only in this moment, if you listen to Kendrick Lamar out, you use your ears to full capacity. But other than that,
that makes no sense and it sounds silly.
I'm just letting you know. But
never forget, Ron. Dean Ambrose told Vince, I just need to take some time off, and then a week later, I'm John Moxley.
There you go. Kota Ibushi gets fired from New Japan over tweets and mentioning the Yakuza and doing all this extra stuff.
This is
Where do you see
right before the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Oh my god!
where do you see Ibushi going? AEW?
He can't go to AEW. He can't.
Where can he go? Where can he go?
Listen to you. Impact, because it can't be AEW.
Because
AEW and New Japan have a working relationship right now, and they just can't. I feel like them hiring Ibushi would really. For Forbidden Door, they sold out in like a day, $1 million gate. They can't.
And I feel as though when Kenny Omega realizes that, Kenny Omega will pull his EVP weight and just be like, "I need my best friend in this company."
We'll see. Also, double or nothing for $1.2 million gate. Now the largest non-WWE gate ever.
Oh yeah, Punk versus Hangman. Hopefully, Punk wins.
Yeah, Hangman Page is kind of boring.
We're tired of Hangman.
This whole thing seems kind of silly.
I'm tired of him and that stupid finisher.
You know what? I gotta say this, dude. Hangman Page, as much as I do like his matches. I actually like the way he wrestles and all that. He looks stupid. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he talks. He's probably, in my opinion, he's one of the worst booked champions I've ever seen. And remember,
he reminds you of
he reminds me of no one, Deuce. Don't interrupt me. He's reminding me of no one. Okay, he's just a terrible fucking champion. I don't believe him when he's talking. It seems like he's afraid of like air. But don't get me twisted. When he wrestles, I'm like, oh shit, the guy can fucking wrestle. So I don't know. Maybe he's one of those guys where you just like throw him away and like Undertaker the shit out of him. Just don't talk.
Right.
I am not a big fan. I'm not sold on his gimmick, his character. He's not badass. He looks like he's like he can get kicked.
I love
me. I go for that. It seems like, but like I know I can't because look at him. But like at the end of the day, yeah. So Punk should probably win.
I like when he's a piece of shit drunk because I can relate to him. So I mean, other than that, clean up his act and it's just like, nah, I don't like him no more.
Tell me if this piques your interest. This is the projected Double or Nothing card. Pre-show Hookhausen versus Beast Sterling. Sterling does wrestle. For people that don't know, he actually does wrestle. Jay Lethal ROH TV title. Scorpio, Sammy, or probably that mixed tag match. They might do a blood and guts match as well, or they might give it his own show with the BCC versus the JAS. Young Bucks versus Hardys. Death Triangle versus House of Black. Triple threat match for the tag team titles. Jurassic Express, Keith Lee and Swerve, Ricky and Powerhouse Hobbs. The two finals of the Owen Hart tournament. Deeb Rosa and MJF Wardlow and Punk Hangman. Sounds like a good card.
So what happened to the whole Eddie Kingston and Jericho angle?
They're still feuding. So now Eddie, Santana, and Ortiz are teaming up with the Blackpool Combat Club. I'll let your boy to take on JAS, but
really one of those like crazy fuck matches, man. It's gonna be a 10-man tag team match.
Wheeler and Wheeler Yuta's gonna be wrestling in New Japan, part of the Super Juniors tournament, but they're probably leading to a blood and guts. You know what blood and guts match? You know what a War Games match is?
I don't know what that is.
You know what War Games is?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. AEW does War Games, but they call it blood and guts, so that's leading up to that.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that's wow.
Yeah. They've already had 2 blood and guts matches already, I believe.
I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's pretty cool.
And they usually give the blood and guts matches their own time on Dynamite because it's really hard to do those matches on a pay-per-view because
Yeah, I want to be a Mark II. So yeah, there you go.
Oh, you have to do that just to do that. Lord Jesus, I know.
I want to be a Mark II.
Yeah, you got the original fucking Punk shirt, right?
Nah, I don't. It's an AEW remake.
Oh, okay. Dan, my boy Dan got that shit. He got the original. He was there. He's all like, "Oh yeah, it's Chicago made." Shut up.
I think the
He's
original shirt goes for like
it's
a couple
Chick
dollars.
Magnet Punk. We all know it's Chick Magnet Punk, and that's what it's. That's what he is. He'll forever be Chick Magnet Punk.
Still ain't get no ice cream bars. I wanted those.
No ice cream bars in 2021. But
I know, right?
I'm gonna let everybody go. We're gonna wrap this up. Jeremy, let them know what you're debuting. tomorrow.
Jeremy Pierce, Charismatic Creations, Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube. And don't forget the High Risk Wrestling Podcast tomorrow's show. We are down to the last 2 episodes this year. We're kind of early this year for the Primed and Ready series, as we'll be looking at who should be next in line to win world championships in the WWE. And spoiler alert, number 1 should always be bum-ass Baron Corbin.
A bum-ass Corbin?
And the first show I'll be starting to put the show on SoundCloud, and we'll start being on YouTube as well. It's boss time. Do that. It's boss time.
Strowman Reigns, you're gonna be playing Hughes tomorrow. I'll be with you.
Yeah. Is there a regional tomorrow?
No, it's fucking pre-release tomorrow.
Pre-release.
Hey, you niggas still play Yu-Gi-Oh? The fuck?
Hughes.
2022.
Nah, card games don't die, bro.
We still playing
RLT, what you got going on? Shit.
Right now, it's all about Mr. Jack Tit for Tat.
Oh, yeah, talk about your music. Talk about your music, man. Talk about that.
Yeah, man. Right now, I'm working on my next album. It's gonna be called The Traveler, and it's pretty much a story about my character, Mr. Jack, floating through different dimensions of sound and coming back to Earth after he killed himself. But the whole thing is, I have my first album. It's called Who Killed the Page Wizard, and it's about Mr. Jack finding his double, and his double tries to kill him, so he must kill his double. But come to find out, the dude was just a paranoid schizophrenic, and he ended up killing himself, and then his soul flows through this crazy old consciousness, and then this is what this next album is about. So if you want to check out the first album, you can go to Bandcamp and Mr. Jack, Jhak. You can literally Google it. I'm like the first hit, MRJHAK. And that's it.
I bet. We're going to look at that. We appreciate you. Come on, What It Sound Like Thursdays at 7. Talk about music. You know
I got to get up on that, man. I got to get up on, like, my schedule's been fucking crazy, but I'm getting it together.
Next Thursday is the 2000s draft for the What It Sound Like. I'm going to smoke them in that. It's always Friday night. You're here 8 p.m. talking that wrestling shit. But, you know, we always got the sports shows on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? We talk these NBA playoffs. Who's going to win in 7, Suns or Mavs? I want to see Luka go ahead and get to the next round. And hopefully the Warriors can close. Hopefully the Warriors can close out tonight. You know, I want to see Steph back in that joint. Fuck James Harden. He's gonna say that for the city. You know what I'm saying? All that good shit. I love Ben Simmons trolling right now.
Fuck Ben Simmons. Hope he dies in a fire.
This little
fuck that nigga dies in a fucking fire. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that fuckboy ass nigga.
I love it.
They chose Ben Simmons over fucking Jimmy fucking Butler. These fucking cunts. I'm so mad. Look now.
I love it.
Look now. Look where you are now.
I love that hate. Other than that, you know, Tuesdays, Beijing After Dark. Wednesdays, the Round Table. Then and Now podcast. Go check them out. Butterproof Entertainment. Like, subscribe, and enable notifications on YouTube. And don't forget Blur Cartel, Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok. We'll be on Spotify with this.
Oh, the tag team titles on the line. Huh. The women's tag team titles.
We don't get it, you know, we're gonna end it out tonight. Everybody for watching. Thanks to everybody for coming on. You know, see y'all niggas next week.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
Good night, America.
Good night and good fight. Don't sue me.